Hello, citizens of the Destination, and thank you for tuning in once again to the Destination podcast. I'm going to keep this one real quick. I'm very excited. We made it to episode 25. That's right. A lot of podcasts. In fact, I believe it's 76% of podcasts don't even make it past the 20th episode. Here we are, still going strong. And without further ado, can't wait for you to listen to this next episode, which is featuring rising star herself, fresh off of a very big Kill Tony episode. And also, she's Columbus Comedy's Rookie of the Year. Here is the Destination Podcast featuring Leyla Ingalls.
Woman's just, like grabbed my throat. I was even just like, okay, cool, roll reversal. Okay, here we go. And then I start back, and then now it just looks like we're like fighting at that point.
Just fucking die.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then it's always really weird too, because then like all the other people in like the produce section of the grocery store are even like, stop doing this.
Oh, you're doing it out and about.
Oh yeah.
I see. I think it, like, if I get really into it and it's feeling nice, I want to just like lightly choke a guy. I don't want to like dominate him, but I think a little bit of aggression is nice. But I get timid because then I'm like, fuck, he's gonna think I'm like weird trying to dominate.
Right. Again, no offense, but nothing about your body or frame or voice or attitude or literally anything about you screams tall.
What are you talking about? I'm like the most intimidating person. I'm the most intimidating comic in Columbus. That's what they say.
You're right. You made me eat my words.
Did we start?
Oh, yeah. Oh, crap. We did.
Okay. You want to know what's crazy?
Yeah.
All right. This is going to sound like I'm talking shit a little bit.
All right. Spill the tea.
I won Rookie of the Year in Columbus, but I'm from Dayton. But I'm extremely thankful and grateful. And that the Comedy Awards, Columbus Comedy Awards, was like one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. I felt so like part of a big comedy family, and so it's so beautiful. I just feel bad about being from Dayton.
Okay, you're glad you aired that out too, because I was even saying that. I'm like, how the fuck is Leyla Ingalls?
Wait, really? See, I was afraid people were gonna get mad, and I was like, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm not salty about it at all, even though I'm also not from Columbus and I didn't even get invited. I'm kidding, I got invited. I was gonna say I couldn't go that night.
Okay.
Because I wasn't nominated. No, I'm kidding. I had a date that then canceled on me like an hour before, so it was either like, well, I can crash the award ceremony now, or I can just order Taco Bell from DoorDash, watch Netflix, and cry. We can guess which one I picked.
You should have crashed it.
I know.
It was a wonderful time.
Because like I've been looking for a good excuse to dress up too. Because like I got outfits. I got according to what the kids say, I have the Riz. You have Riz? Yeah, I've been told that. That's one of those things. Like it's one of those titles. It's like, you can't say you have to earn it. You have to have other people say it. Can I hear some? Like, imagine like I'm a stranger and you're walking up to me. You're trying to Riz me up. How are you gonna do it? Okay. So like, this is me. We have no past, no knowledge of each other. It's just a first time impression. Yeah, I'm at the grocery store. I'm looking at apples. Okay. Should I get green or red? I'll tell you should get this dick in your mouth. And that's why I'm still single. No. I would have pressed my button. No, I'm kidding. Wait, your button, like, are you talking like the voice, like spin your chair around for it, or? No, my rate button. Oh, yeah. I think I have it on me. I knew I was coming here. I was coming to your house, so. Right. Because that's the vibe I actually give off. Is Is that the one you talk about though in your material? I'm not gonna have you spoil your joke for people that are gonna pay to come see you. Well, it's on Instagram. They can see it if they want. Yeah. This is the rate button my mom got me. Oh, nice. But
I pressed it the other day, not because anything scary was happening, just to see if it still worked. And it didn't work. It was literally only good for one rape. It worked one time.
It's fucked up. Yeah. Well, because, it's one of those. It's one of those you never want to use it, but you should only ever have to use it once.
I know the designers must have been like, for sure, it's not going to happen more than once, right?
Right. Like, sure, she'll learn,
Yeah, and if she doesn't, that's on her.
She'll learn to dress better,
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, on that perfect subject to get away from. Hey, everyone, thanks for tuning into the Destination Podcast. You know me by now, unfortunately. You may not know the fantastic comic Rookie of the Year, Leyla Ingalls. Thanks for making the long drive out here, and especially because you had a longer drive than most.
Well, thank you for having me and cooking for me. He cooked for me steak and eggs. That's so sweet upon request. And I've never had sex with this man, but I feel like he knows how to rock a girl's world. I feel like he knows how to get a pussy wet. So hit him up. Hit those DMs. Get his DMs wet like he'll get your pussy. And
what's your Cash App so I can send you the for that wonderful advertisement? But no, I'm kidding. I already have it. So anyway, thank you again for making the drive out. Because even though you got your start in Columbus, you are now very vocally and famously a Dayton comic, taking on the whole city on your shoulders, and
it's not very heavy. Dayton's kind of small.
Yeah, and it's all like outskirts too, like downtown Dayton. Not much to it.
It's all there's one good road, the Oregon District. Mm-hmm. It's cute. Yeah. It's artsy.
Yeah.
Got Wiley's right there, but then outside of that, it's kind of dry, like your DMs.
Yeah. Moment of silence for that burn. That true burn. Yeah. No, I know where you're talking about. No, like that part's nice. And then when I went there, I stayed out by the airport, the Air Force Museum or whatever it is. Yeah. And then I remember going to Waffle House after my show there, because that's what you do when you're a comic. You go to Waffle House after shows. And then I think it was like weeks later, I saw that exact Dayton Waffle House on Instagram or something like that, of them having like a fight there or something.
It got shot up recently.
Yeah.
So did the Walmart in Dayton. Look.
Great city.
All I'm going to say is my first month of open mics ever was in Austin, Texas. And then I came back to Ohio and I was living in Columbus. Mm-hmm. So then I worked at the Columbus Funny Bone, got around the comedy scene there. But then for financial reasons, I had to move back to Dayton because it's so much more affordable than Columbus. Yes. It's very cheap there.
Yeah.
So I've been born and raised in Dayton. And so for me, I have a lot of precious memories there. Mm-hmm. And I know that life is what you make it. So you can be in the shittiest of surroundings, but you can have a positive attitude and make it fun. So I've had fun in Dayton, but you never know how much people hate Dayton until you start leaving. Because then when people find out I'm from Dayton, they're like, ew, get out, gross, Dayton sucks. And then, that's like all I knew growing up. So I was like, man, the world hates my hometown.
Yeah. I mean, preaching to the choir here as the again appointed king of Newark. I know all about making the best of your shitty surroundings. I mean, great surroundings. Because that's the thing. I mean, there's so many terrible things that can be said about Newark, and that I have said about Newark. But you know what? At the end of the day, I do love the place. Mm-hmm. And then I try not to say it too much because, like everything else I say but I love, they will leave me. The whole city will just like pick up and just like there'll be like this huge crater of me just crying. No. But no, I was just about to ask if you were actually born in Dayton or not. So
yeah.
And then so what made you like want to start in Austin then?
Well, okay, my brother moved out there. He moved to Austin, Texas first. And so I went out there to visit him. And at the time, I went out not this past November, but the November before, and was like, let me go out there for a month, have like a prolonged stay. Because I was a little lost in life. Like I had graduated college, I was having relationship problems, felt really lost, but I've always been a huge comedy nerd. Like when I'm alone, all I'm listening to are stand-up specials or comedians podcasts. And then I had a notebook of jokes that I had started writing senior year of high school. And I felt like such a dweeb going to comedy shows because I was like studying them. I was studying joke structure, the way they speak, how many laughs they get per minute. And I was like, well, I don't think this is how other people enjoy a comedy show. I was like, I'm studying it because I see myself in that position, but was just extremely shy. I've been very shy and passive most of my life. And so I knew of a couple open mics in Dayton, but I also grew up there, so I know people there. So I was like, let me go to Austin, Texas, where there's so many mics every night. Nobody knows me. So I can be fucking crazy. And if it bombs, like no one knows who the fuck I am. So I did it, and then I fell in love with it. And it went really well. And I was like, I want to keep trying.
Yeah, because the first time I ever saw you perform was actually, ironically, in Newark. At Trek Brewing for a weather vane. It used to be a competition, and then last year it wasn't a competition. It was just a mic that they had once a month. But yeah, I remember seeing you, and it was like maybe your third set ever. Like you were like still, third set in Ohio anyway. And yeah, I remember like the first time I saw you, like you and Neff Johnson were like two people I've seen, and I said to myself, that person's actually gonna fucking make it. Like they are a star. Because like you were
how much that means.
Because you were like again, like right away, like I could tell like you really honed. You were like so honed in already on a kind of almost character, but also not like a slightly. I could tell there was you in there, but I could tell you in a slightly elevated form of self, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like I'm being myself, but I will exaggerate my ditzy and aloofness a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people like Eddie tried saying yesterday on his podcast, he tried saying like, you put diesel in your car for real. And I'm like, no, I don't. I've never made that mistake. Right. But yeah, so I play into the way I sound because I sound like I've never read a fucking book in my life.
Yeah.
But I also feel extremely.
I'm not sure she's read a cookbook. No, okay.
Call me fat.
No, call me a woman.
Oh, I like that.
I just lost subscribers with that one, but continue.
No, that's fine. But yeah. So, anyways, I am really nervous on stage. Within the last 3 months, I've changed my thought process before I go up on stage. So now I'm seeming more comfortably awkward, but before I was just extremely nervous awkward.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those like we loved how you kind of were I don't even know how I'm saying it. But, it's just one of those, like, again, it gets into a certain point where, like, you're actually planning it. But at first, you were like, yeah, I totally wasn't planning that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
In reality, like, no, you were up there. You were, like, terrified. You were, like, trying to grab every thought you could while you were up there. And but no, like, yeah, I even, like, right off the get-go, like, I could tell, like, how honed in you were. And, again, even though it didn't seem calculated, I could tell it was very calculated.
So, yes, thank you.
Yeah. And then also, I kind of, so I have family in Texas as well. And like, I've also kind of thought about doing the extended stay thing as well. But mine aren't in Austin, mine are in El Paso. And there's also the part of me that's like, El Paso isn't nearly the booming stand-up scene. Cause that's a great place to start in Austin. Cause that's, comedy boomtown. But, in El Paso, it's more so, like I'd go, to do my mics and everything, and afterwards they'd be like, "Yeah, here's some shots, here's some tequila, some mezcal, all that." And then I know my family, and they're assholes. So I would just wake up in Juarez, like they would fight.
Fucked up?
That would be that'd be their favorite joke of the night is let's get they call me El Toro Blanco. Let's get El Toro Blanco across the border so he wakes up, in Mexico.
Damn.
And then, I'd have to go in there and be like a passport and I'd just be like, no, I need on this side of the wall. I need on that side of the wall.
So you're afraid to go to Texas and try stand up again?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because you're going to wake up in Mexico every time.
Yeah. Well, again, just anything that far west. Like, I mean, Austin's fine.
When you get
Dallas.
to a certain point of going west, you can't control your partying.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I've started one time, I woke up 2 hours away from where I started. So
wow.
I have a 2 hour window or a 2 hour radius. So like if I started partying in Newark, I could wake up in like Toledo or Cleveland or something like that. Like I wouldn't wake up across the border, but in Texas, you can very easily wake up across the border.
Right. Yeah.
And like not even a border, the border. So, but yeah. So yeah, ever since then, no, I mean, you've, made your mark in Columbus, obviously, and then you've been killing out in Dayton. Like where, are you going to continue to stick around in Ohio for a little bit, or are you heading New York City? Are you heading LA?
I want to head to a bigger city to do comedy. And I've been thinking a lot about Austin because ever since I was on Kill Tony, everything I post, people are always commenting, move to Austin, mm-hmm. all the opportunity in Dayton and stuff, and being sarcastic
Mostly Tony
about
Hinchcliffe is commenting that.
I wish Tony Hinchcliffe was commenting on my shit. But so I'm getting a lot of opportunity here because mm-hmm. I'll get $50 to do 10 minutes on a show, and that's amazing. Like that's mm-hmm. great. And so I want to ride out the wave of opportunity here because I am making a little bit of money from it.
Right.
And it's also living in Dayton, allowing me to save a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. So once I am financially comfortable, then I would love to move to Austin. I just don't think people realize the level that I'm at now. Like I'm still going to open mics. I'm still an open micer. And then I just get booked on some shows, and that is so great. But mm-hmm. if I go out to Austin now without like a name under my belt, I would just be back at like square one. I'd have to get a regular job. I'd be at open mics. I feel like I wouldn't be booked on shows like I am here.
Right.
And I know that I think going out there would make me better because there's a lot more females out there. Here, there's not a lot of females, and then there's not a lot of like soft-spoken, more feminine female comics here. Mm-hmm. But out in Austin, there's a lot more variety of female comics. So there'll be more people like me. And I think that'll be good for me. I think so. I do have plans to go to Austin. I just think it'll be at least a year. Like a year from now, yeah. I want to be planning to move out there.
Right. Yeah, I actually, because it's funny you bring up again the diversification of female styles too, because like I kind of see your style. Your style would actually fit really well out west, out in LA, because you had at times you have that kind of I guess like post alt style comedy.
I've been told that I'm niche.
Yeah,
but then I don't know how. But see.
But niche is good, though. Niche is good.
I want to be able to make whole audiences laugh.
Right.
Of all walks of life, ages, genders, creed, colors. I want everyone.
Yeah. I mean, because like you find your tribe, so to speak, and then you expand the tribe. So, but no, like, because you give me a lot of Maria Bamford vibes at times. I mean, you don't do nearly the array of voices, but I mean, just the style, the thought process, cadence, like that. Not to the point where you're like a rip off of though. Like you are very much your own thing. I'm just saying it evokes the vibe.
Yeah.
Which is why I think you do well out west. But then again, Austin is the place to be, and there's a lot of opportunity out there. But yeah, also. Like that's kind of what I'm trying to do too. I'm trying to build myself up in the Midwest before I then make the move somewhere else. Like I have one special under my belt. I want to have two, and then just a build up here before I then, because I don't want to go back to square one either. Because like you go out to if you go out to LA, I mean that's still you driving an hour into the city hoping for bucket spots. Even if you get on your like 11:30, 1 o'clock shift. So like, yeah, no, it's really smart of you to like build up here.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a lot of valuable show stage time. And that is so valuable because then you really know if your jokes are funny or not.
Right.
For open mics, unless there is like a good amount of audience members, I feel like you don't really find out how you're doing because it'll be like all comics in the audience. So open mics for me are mostly just practicing delivery and speaking them.
Yeah.
And now I've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable trying new jokes on shows and stuff. And then I really find out. And it usually goes well. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, I've made a few connections in Austin. So I don't think if I went out there, there'd be like zero opportunity. But I just think I'm getting more show opportunity here. And then once I feel like I've played that out, then I'll be ready to go there.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And your feeling is good. Like I would say, a lot of times, like when you go into pursuing the dream, a lot of times they say if you have a safety net, you'll never truly make it. And like I'm a firm believer that's not always true. I mean, sure, there is the whole fight or flight thing in the back of your head at all times, but like I already have that anyway. And that's just that's more of a fear of failure. That's my what I'm always pushing against, and so like you put yourself out there enough, and it's just constantly bettering yourself in ways as a comic, as a person, and yeah.
What about you? What's your story? I don't know much about you.
Okay, so I was born a poor black child.
Wow.
In South Zanesville.
You have Michael Jackson syndrome?
Yeah. I have an intense, a very rare, intense form of vitiligo. And then, no, I'm kidding. I mean, born in South Zanesville, adopted in Newark, raised here, went to Bowling Green for a year for vocal music education, realized I don't like kids. So you kind of need that for the education part of it. Came back here.
Wait, vocal music?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So singing. Like singing?
Yep.
Are you a coach?
I mean, not technically. I mean, I've tried helping people where I can.
Yeah.
And like, I'm so ADD when it comes to writing music. Like my ADD really helps for writing jokes because jokes are madness, jokes are absurd. Music, on the other hand, you have to like make a melody. You have to like have rhyming scheme. You have to have chords. You have to have rhythm. There are things you absolutely have to have. Jokes, you make them whatever the hell you want to make them.
Yeah.
You control that narrative. So also finding out that I have a history of epilepsy in the family too, that made me want to get away from music. Just because there's no flashy lights with stand-up. It's a mic and it's one constant spotlight. That's it.
Yeah. I love the spotlight that will follow people on the stage.
Yes.
Like when I've seen that in specials and stuff, I'm like, that is sexy.
Yes.
That's what I want one day.
It's nice. And by that I mean the spotlight is so addictive. But yeah.
It's scary.
So yeah, I mean, I sing now. The majority of my singing is just me at karaoke now. It feels like, but I mean, hopefully someday I'll make an album of something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because like I have a whole music room back there that just collects dust. Occasionally I'll get the inspiration, but yeah, like I said, just way too much ADD when it comes to the music. So like that's kind of what made me switch into the world of comedy.
You're an artist.
Yeah, artiste.
You're an artiste.
Yeah, pinkies up. Yeah, and then I had this big like wake up call moment. I was like 24 when I had achieved my whole bucket list because when I was in high school I set such a realistic and achievable bucket list. So like by 24 I was like, oh, I'm done with life. Cool. We're side questing. And so to give myself any kind of purpose, I was even like, well, I always had that dream of being a stand-up comic. So let's try it. And then the rest is history, and that's why I'm here in my living room talking with you. So that's amazing. Yeah, it's been a wild and crazy ride so far. I want to hear some singing. Some singing, okay. Oh, I'm so dehydrated. I can't. Here, I have water. Of course, you have water. I can. I also have water here too.
vocal talent. I don't know if I'd call it talent, but just something I discovered when I was like 10 is that I can kind of sing opera. And I've always thought if I had vocal training and I really learned how to hone in on that, I could be like one of those ladies on stage.
Yeah. So again, going to college for vocal music, I did get a year of opera style training. My voice professor, he actually was on Broadway as the Pirate King in The Pirates of Penzance.
Oh shit!
And so yeah, and he was such an intimidating guy too. Like first off, he was like 6'4", 6'5", so he like towered over me. Just massive shoulders, just everything about him was big. He had a big face. Everything about him was just big.
And a big opera voice.
Oh, he had such a deep baritone.
Watch him have the smallest micro penis. Everything about this man is big, but his penis.
Yes, that's the one thing. It's like one time actually. I think it was our first like our consultation lesson, whatever you call it, where he like, all right, show me what you got. And so I just I unzipped, I flopped it out, right?
No.
I was like, yes, and right away I'm like, I smell micro penis on you, my dude. Like, got you.
Your dick smells small.
Your
dick smells small.
I'll say I walked in here, I was like, that smells like a feminine dick. No. No, so like he gives me this song to start singing. It's a really basic musical theater song. It's On the Street Where You Live from My Fair Lady. And I started singing. Shit, how's it even start? I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several. So he cuts me off, and he's even like, you're supposed to sing it with a 1940s Cockney. So really overdo the nasally thing. So I was like, okay, you're the professor that I'm paying $20,000 for, so let's do it. I have often walked down the street before, and I started singing that way, and like I get maybe 2 lines in, and he is behind his desk just busting up laughing. And
that's what he asked for, right?
Exactly, it is exactly what he asked for, and he's even just like, no, I'm kidding. Don't sing it like that.
Oh, he was joking with
you. He was joking. And again, it's so weird that the few times I look back in my life where like comedian Destin was not a thing, because I was even like, and I straight up even like, hey man, I'm paying $20,000 for you to teach me how to be a better singer.
Yeah.
And he's even like, oh shit, you're right. Okay, my bad. He's like, sing it exactly how you were before. And I was like, well, no, now I don't want to.
Did you sing it all emo after that?
Yeah. I've often walked down the street before. The pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. No. And hopefully those couple lines don't get me flagged for copyright or something. But, oh well.
I don't know how any of that works.
Oh, musical copyright. Yeah, that's like, that's, I mean, I think that's probably one of the biggest legal issues you can ever have as like a content creator is is musical copyright is like no joke, like the most serious thing there is. I mean, that's the biggest flex the mouse has on people. The mouse, of course, Mickey.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh yeah, anything that's owned by Disney, the moment like more than 3 seconds of a Disney song is ever featured in something, they flag it immediately.
Oh shit! Yeah, fuck Disney. They're a huge monopoly.
Right. They are.
I don't agree with their ethics.
Yes. I'll say they need to be put on ice, like Disney. Yeah, no, because I did I did these like character roast shows as well, and I did the roast of Thanos. So a bunch of comics, dressed up like the Avengers and everything, and we had Thanos as the roastie. And it was like the one show that I knew as because of the mouse, I was like, I cannot promote this like too well, but I need enough people to show up so that I can, pay the comics for like the costumes and their little bit of time writing, pay for the rental fee space as well. So it was like the show had to do just right. Mm-hmm. It couldn't be too hot, couldn't be too cold. had to be right in the middle. And naturally, this is the one show that the Newark Advocate, our local paper, was like, we want to do a piece on this. I was like, can I not?
Yeah.
But also I'm an attention whore and I want my face in the paper. And and so we do the interview and everything. And I found out it was like coming out like 2 days before the show. So I was like, thank God. Because I was like, again, all it took was for the mouse to catch a whiff of this show, and they would have sent the SWAT team after me.
It's funny that you call him the mouse.
Oh yeah,
it sounds eerie.
It's very eerie.
I agree.
He is ruthless.
But, so you have never you don't feel shy singing in front of people and stuff?
No. Ironically, I have zero stage fright when it comes to like acting and singing, but yet. To this day, when I take the stage for stand-up, I still am like kind of nervous.
That's so interesting. I'm opposite now. I still get nervous for stand-up, but like singing and dancing is 1,000 times more vulnerable for me than stand-up. Like I've never done karaoke. I've never gone to the karaoke bar and done it.
Yeah.
To me, that terrifies me. I'd rather do an open mic.
Well, I think because with the stand-up, it's my words, it's my mind. Mm-hmm. Whereas, singing, dancing, acting, I'm doing other people's work.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey, I'm just the messenger here. I'm not the one behind it. But with stand up, it's like, oh, someone doesn't like it. They don't like me. Because, I'm in every word of my jokes, even all the uhs and ums or my stutters.
Yeah.
And, but no, singing and acting though, that's like, where I'm almost too cocky when it comes to acting and singing on stage. I'm like, couldn't I borrow maybe, I don't know, 20% of this and then add that into my stand-up? But no, I was very anti-karaoke because again, classically trained opera singer. So the idea of karaoke was so, beneath me. It was peasant trash. And but then when I was 21, I got blackout drunk, and there was a video of me singing karaoke, and then and I saw that video, and I was like, I'm a classically trained opera singer. I can't have this in the world. I can't have people thinking I can't sing. So I went to a karaoke in Bowling Green later that weekend and sang "My Way" by Sinatra. Brought the house down, had people crying, and then and then ever since then, now I actively do sing karaoke.
Damn.
And ever since then, I have one song. If I'm gonna be there for the whole night, I have one song I sing well. I get that out of the way early because then the more I drink, the more I talk and everything, the looser I get. And then it's more about having fun. But I always still, because of that, I always have that one, I need to make sure that people know I know how to do this first.
Yeah. And
then I can have fun and act a fool and, scream into the mic like a drunken idiot.
But, you made people cry from singing?
Mm-hmm, a couple times.
That's crazy.
From their pussy. No.
It just gets so wet.
Yeah. I did serenade a girl one time. She straight up even said we're doing foreplay and everything. And she's even singing to me. And that was the only time I was nervous singing because I was like, oh, I've never actually sang for pussy before, right? So I was like, all right, fucking music of the night.
Like it's the mic.
Oh yeah.
Into it.
I've been alone with you inside my mind. No.
That's so crazy. I wish that's a wild dream for me to sing and people cry. But I do want to hear your opera. I'm curious about it.
I'll say actually hold on, wait, some opera. I'm trying to think that's copyright or not.
If you sing an opera note, I'll do mine.
Okay.
I haven't warmed up or anything.
All right. Well, we'll do some warm ups here first. Actually, okay. So,
Okay, but I'm obviously way higher than you.
Oh yeah, you can just do your octave. No, you have to sing exactly what it's like.
That's probably as low as I can go.
There we go.
This is so crazy for me.
Let's say, do you know Bocelli?
No, I know the one song that's like Ave Maria. Ave
Maria. Yeah.
You're already. I can tell you're already way better at opera than me.
I would say there's the song. It was Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli, and she sings in English except for like there's one part where they do both sing Italian, but like she sings English like I pray you'll be all right, so just when we go, and then Bocelli comes in with
That's so cool. Like maybe later in life when I have time to develop more than one art form, I will dive into opera. Wouldn't that be wild if I did like stand up in opera?
Yeah, work it into a bit for sure.
I've wanted to. I've been trying to figure it out.
Matteo Lane. I mean, he makes no secret that he was an opera singer before comedy as well.
Oh shit, he was?
Yeah, actually, I think in his last special, or even maybe one of his specials that he's put out recently, so his YouTube ones, one of them he does sing a little bit towards the end, I think.
He's really funny.
He is.
I really like him.
And his singing voice is way more like baritone, even though of course his speaking voice is very tenor. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and like I knew a couple of them in college too, where it's like their speaking voice is like way up there, but then they're singing way down here, you know. Huh. Yeah, or vice versa. Actually, like I know a girl, actually one that did the tattoo on my right knee. We karaoke every now and then. Her speaking voice is like way down there, but then she sings very light and airy and
interesting.
Yeah.
I think that my voice only works when I sing, and I've literally only ever sung alone in my bed. I've never actually tried singing in front of anyone because it's the scariest thing to me. Mm-hmm. But my natural singing voice is very like soft, as you would imagine, mm-hmm. unless I'm doing opera. Then I randomly can just fucking project crazy notes.
Right.
So I'm very confused about my singing voice.
Yeah. It's always, especially once you like rein it in too, and like you know how to replicate it again. Like it's really cool being able to sing various styles, various like tones and whatnot. Like I can actually do pretty decent musical impressions as well. Like I can sing like the guy from Smashing Pumpkins pretty well. I can do like Motorhead, the whiny guy from Blink-182.
John Lennon. Can you do John Lennon?
I can kind of do John Lennon. It's mostly based off of Paul Rudd's impersonation of John Lennon from Walk Hard, but no, I can sing a lot of Beatles though.
I love the Beatles.
Same.
Love the Beatles.
I mentioned I think in my Christmas special, like I forget who I saw like crapping on the Beatles, and I was even just like, how desperate are you to have an original opinion as to be like the Beatles are overrated? No,
how can you hear their songs and not just be like,
yeah, they're perfectly rated, and they're rated as the greatest band in music. Like,
yeah.
Like guessing, I go on maybe I don't know, once a week I have like hour or so. I just binge some Beatles.
Yeah, same. Like I was never into the Beatles until like 3 years ago, and then I don't know why I just had never listened to them. Maybe because I was younger and I was like, "There's old people music."
Yeah.
And then I listened to
Boomer tunage.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Holy fuck!" I was like, "I get the hype now."
Yeah.
And I went on a huge Beatles binge, and now I've been a fan ever since. And I will do the same thing, like every now and then, just a whole month filled with Beatles.
Right. Do you have a favorite album?
I think it's the White Album.
White Album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like that's one of those like if aliens like came to Earth and they and you had to like give them something of your culture, like White Album is probably what I would give them.
Yeah, that album is amazing. But my favorite Beatles song, it's weird, "Oh Darling" mm-hmm. from Abbey Road.
Yeah,
that's like my favorite Beatles song. But it bugs me that Paul McCartney got so like screamy into it, and I think if they would have kept it more subtle, it would have been like the best for me personally, the best Beatles song. It would have been golden. But when they get too rocky and Paul starts getting real into it, I'm like, man, you guys, you really had me on this when it was softer.
So you're not a Helter Skelter fan, I take it.
I mean, I like hardcore music. Just for some reason, that song bothers me when it gets hardcore. But like, my dad, my first car that I ever had when I was 16, my dad gave me his old car, and he got a new one, and he left a lot of his CDs in the car, and he had an Alice in Chains CD. And I was like a 16-year-old girl and was like, why do I like this? And I got like really
because it's sludgy. It's great.
I got really
the vocal harmonies too. Like their voices are so good together.
I love ABBA for that reason.
Yeah.
ABBA's dope. And I wish, I mean, the only place, you know the Go-Go in Columbus?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
We need fucking discos. Where are the discos? I want to go to a disco
and panic.
Dance. I want to go and listen to like Michael Jackson and ABBA and Donna Summers and wear fucking beautiful outfits and just dance the night away. But those don't really exist. Anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know where, typical, like hipster culture will bring that back at some point. Like we will probably get some kind of disco revival.
I hope so.
At some point. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the next 10 years. We get a little bit of like a disco kind of revival, bring back skating rinks.
Yes.
And have the disco music, bring cocaine and Molly back. I'm kidding. I mean, it's never left. AIDS. Yeah. AIDS needs to come back too. Yeah. And I was gonna say because like I remember my mom only like wanted me to listen to country. Up until I was like 10. And then my dad like played me Black Sabbath for the first time. And like I heard it and I was like, oh, music can like be like this too. Awesome. And then I rated his all of his like old rock albums. But then he's such a big Beatles dude. Like in my basement where I spent all my teenage years because I'm one of those teenagers. I was a weird basement kid.
I was a weird teenager as well.
Yeah. Were you a weird attic teenager or just a weird room teenager?
Room teenager. I was nerdy, like super shy. I was the quiet, shy girl.
Yeah. Because like my room was upstairs and like I remember the majority of high school, I was like begging my parents, let me just move my bed down here. I'm here all the time anyway. All my video games are down here. My guitars, my amps are down here. Like I literally only walk up to go to bed. And I was like, and it was a finished basement too. Finished basement had its own bathroom. I was like, I'll have my own floor to myself. I'll just live here. And they were like, no, we will not let you move your bed down here. I was like, thank you guys. I'm gonna buy my own house at 20 then. So.
And did you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I'll say I think I bought this place. I think right before I turned 21.
Wow.
And then they immediately moved in with me.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, my mom got colon cancer. And so she had a big surgery and like they had like steps, like we had like a bi-level house, which is like, I never once was afraid of my house. Like I always supported my house being, bi-level. I didn't want it to be a straight level, I was fine with, I supported it being a bi-level.
That's so progressive of you. That's beautiful.
Thank you. I'll say there's a lot of levels to that joke.
Wait, but may I ask? Is a bi-level the same as like a split level?
So yeah, especially in later terms, it fits in the umbrella because then there's like this pan level, there's demi level, there's.
So do you think that all bi houses have split personalities? Do you think that being bisexual is a mental illness? Some say mental illness. I say superpower.
Yes, absolutely.
Some say antipsychotics. Right. I say kryptonite.
Yeah, amen. But yeah, so then my parents moved in with me when they had the surgery, and then so that was a couple months. Then they were able to get back in their old house, and then they moved in with me again last summer. Because they up and sold their house. And then my dad got diagnosed with throat cancer while he was under the roof as well. And I was like, anything to pull on my heartstrings and make me forget that they were behind on their rent, I guess.
Aww.
No, so I hated though that like their house was like built right when my dad was like in the throes of his treatment too. He was like on like week 5 of radiation and chemo, and that was like right when they were ahead of schedule on building the house. So like a week early, they gave the keys. They're like, here you go. And even though I was like, all right, you guys don't have to go right now. You can make it through Thanksgiving, and then I need you out because Daddy needs the fuck jungle back, you know.
Fuck jungle.
That's what I call it. Also, again, I think that's 5th reason I've said in this podcast why I'm single.
Telling your dad that Daddy needs the fuck jungle back is crazy. You'd be like, what the fuck did you say to me, son?
Hey, you gotta keep a pimp hand strong. So and then, you know, once they're out, then you know, I had like my hermit phase, because that's the thing. I am very much a lone wolf kind of person. I've always been. I've always liked my privacy. So it was like I had to like I was like blowing off all my plans, because I was like, nope, I just need to sit in front of my TV, play video games, enjoy my house again. And then now here I am coming out of my cage and doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it. Oh, can't sing more than 3 seconds because copyright.
It wasn't that good. They wouldn't know.
No,
that it was on.
You're right. Yeah, I would say I don't think the killers are scouring amateur comedians podcast, being like, I hope some fucking incel asshole isn't out there saying.
That'd be crazy if somebody like got to you like, no, you sang 3 seconds of this song.
I mean, that'd be a really like. I have like meet them in court, and I'd be like, sign my restraining order, Brendan Flowers. You know.
Yeah, or like,
let me get
thank you for listening.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, get a pic for the gram. People like, hey, never meet your heroes, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brandon Flowers, if you're listening, let's collab.
How old are you?
Well, a gentleman never tells. Good thing I'm not a gentleman. I'm 30.
You're 30?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You look younger.
Thank you.
I don't know much about this man. He's pretty mysterious.
I say thank you, because mysterious is what I'm going for, and like I've always said, like one of my weight loss goals is that when I'm at a party and I'm not talking to people, that it's seen as being mysterious and not creepy. So because there's a very hard line between mysterious and creepy, and that line is being hot. Like hot guys are not creepy; they're mysterious. But not hot guys, they're creepy.
Okay, see, I understand what you're saying, but I also have come across a lot of creepy hot guys.
Really?
Yeah. And because more often than not, like your stereotypical hot guy, they're going to be like taller and bigger, and then nerdy guys tend to be a little bit more small, dweeby. At least the ones that come after me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so, anyways, if there's like a hot guy that's doing the same shit that a creepy, nerdier guy would do, it's almost more intimidating because he's physically way larger than me.
Okay. I get that.
Like, I've had some hot guys wait by my car, and you'd think I'd be like, oh, I'm coming. But, I mean, if they're cool, then I'm like that. If I'm into them, then I'm running to my car into their arms. Yeah. But I've had, like, instances where there's been, like, stereotypically attractive men be very creepy.
Oh, good to know. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Maybe
I'm being creepy.
I don't think it's a looks thing. I feel like it's an energy thing. But also that's me. I vibe with energy more than looks anyways.
Same. Like that's the thing. I mean, I've been told enough by my haters that, like, because I'm one of those people that was like always on, and unfortunately that kind of gets very draining if you're around that person for too long, where they're just always like, you know. It got to a point where I was like, everything I said had to be like a joke or a perfect tag or something. And after a while, like even I just got tired. And so I pulled back, I reserved a little more. And then, like I said, and then there's just in my anxiety in the back of my head is even like, people probably think I'm a serial killer, probably think I'm being creepy. It's like, so let me just continue to sip and make eye contact with people.
That's how I feel a lot too, though. I feel like I'm creepy a lot too, because I am a little socially awkward, and I'm definitely a people watcher. I love to watch people. Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, so I get worried that I'm weird too.
Well, don't worry no more. You are weird. but in the best ways.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good because I don't want to be creepy.
No, you're not creepy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I have a crush on a guy, then I feel like I get creepy.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, I'm currently watching Big Mouth right now, and it's a show all about puberty. So, like, it's the epitome of, like, every time they have a crush on someone, they creep them out.
Yeah.
That's just yes, how it was.
Like in middle school, the first guy I ever had a crush on, this was like 6th grade. He sat in front of me in history class, and he had the beautiful long blonde hair, and he'd flip it like Justin Bieber. Remember when that was a big thing?
I had the hair, yeah.
Yeah, so he had that kind of hair, and he sat right in front of me, and he'd lean back in his chair, and the static electricity of the hair would make it kind of stand up a little bit. And I used to take my pencil and like twirl it a little with the pencil. And then I had some friends that sat next to me, and I was like, if I cut his hair off and put it in a bag, they'll see it and it'll make them laugh. So I was like, I'm going to do it. So I real nonchalantly one day just snipped some of his hair and put it in a plastic bag. And then my friends were like, Leyla, you're insane. And I was like, ha ha ha. And I kept it in my locker. And I was like,
of course.
Yeah. And I was like, I have his hair.
Yeah.
And I feel
like... Are you going to throw it away like a psychopath? No, you keep the hair.
Yeah. And I ate it a few years later.
Again, you made every right move.
Thank you.
I 100% sign off on that story.
I wonder if he knows. I don't know. I've never.
Well, I unfortunately can't name drop him either because, like, by principle, I have to bleep out any name drops.
I will. I mean, I don't care if he knows how much I liked him now.
Right, because he's probably he's probably got kids now, baby mamas.
Maybe, yeah. It seems like a lot of people from my high school are married with kids now.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy because I still feel like a kid. Like I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, again, occasionally I'm in denial too. That like I'm 30, but like I still feel like I'm like fresh out of high school. You know, the kid thing. And I was like, what do you mean you guys all have 3 kids already? You know, which I think I might be maybe one of because I graduated with like 450 people.
That's pretty small.
It is for considering that, like, ironically, we are like we're always classified as like a AA school or whatever for like sports and like other stuff. We were like the smallest one of those. But I probably am one of maybe 40, 50 that don't have a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very small fraction.
Yeah, like so. I may not have been in the 1% of my class when it technically mattered, but I'm in the 1% when it matters now.
Hell yeah.
I would say because I mean, it's one of those like had I actually had a kid by now, I'm sure we wouldn't have this living room to be talking.
Yeah. Oh,
I say we'd have to be doing this like while roommates are out for like apartments and stuff. And
yeah.
But
do you have a childhood trauma that makes you want to do comedy now?
Nothing specific. Just the constant need for attention and validation. That's it.
Why do you think you have that need? Sorry, this is therapy now.
Yeah, this is therapy. I was saving this for the Tristan Shea episode, who's actually a therapist. But
shit.
All right, well, practice.
Yeah, you should definitely ask him, not me.
No. I mean, it's probably the whole being an only kid thing. Like, I got attention and I liked it.
Okay, you were an only child.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I was adopted as an only child. Biologically, I'm the middle of 5.
Okay.
So I kind of get the need for attention like from both sides because then I'm biologically a middle child.
Do you know your biological parents?
I know of them.
Mm-hmm.
I had like 2 conversations with my bio mom. I've never spoke to my bio dad, and I know of my siblings.
Okay.
I've never had any conversations like with them now. It's one of those, I don't need it because like my parents are freaking awesome. And I'm definitely saying that because they listen to the podcast, which is proof of why they're awesome. They listen to their amateur comedian son podcast.
That is very sweet.
Yeah. Oh, my dad was on it, and then he's going to be back on it for part 2 of his episode.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like, so they're awesome parents. Like they gave me what I needed. They gave me like, 75% of what I wanted. Like, I wasn't completely spoiled by any means. I mean, they would tell me no, enough, but No, just the love of performing, and again, I mean, the first time I got like the applause and the attention, it's addictive. So
yeah,
it's more that it's not so much a childhood trauma thing. It's just early on I found myself as a creative and a performer, so I was like, I want to do that. So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
it's always interesting to know why people wanted to start comedy, because a lot of people did have like a fucked up childhood, and then some people are like you, they just wanted they're a creative personality and they want attention and stuff, so I'm always just interested to hear.
Just found a love of comedy when I was 13, and also wanted to date women above my physical class, so that's my way of getting the hot ones. I was like, nope, I need a hot Instagram model that I can have a kid with and then ignore the whole time.
Yeah,
breed out these genes, just the love of performing. And so
me,
yeah, so like, where did your love of comedy come from? I know you said you started writing jokes in high school, but like what brought that on? Like,
well, I think so. My brother tells me that he thinks I grew out of being retarded, and if that's true, I can probably grow back into it. And so I feel
nothing's impossible.
I was
keep drinking White Claw. It can happen.
They make me feel retarded. I never drink. I don't drink a lot, so I feel this White Claw. But I'm gonna finish it. But you don't happen to have any nicotine, do you?
I don't.
Like
I don't. Sorry.
That's okay.
I have ketamine if you want.
I've never had ketamine.
I'm kidding. I don't have ketamine.
But yeah, I was a pretty nerdy, weird kid, and I was like super bullied, super hardcore, just every ounce of self-esteem knocked down. And so and then my parents got divorced when I was pretty young, and so I never saw a healthy parental relationship. I never had good parental role models of like what a loving relationship looks like. So I think I've just had I've never had like self-worth taught to me and stuff. So I grew up extremely insecure and then was pretty awkward in high school. And then it wasn't until I started stand-up where I found that it makes me feel confident. And it's the first thing that's made me feel confident. Even like going through puberty and growing out of looking awkward and becoming like people think I'm attractive and stuff, that never even made me feel confident. Looks have never made me feel confident. Right. But having some sort of internal skill set that also other people recognize and makes them happy, that makes me feel confident. And so, yeah, I guess it's just stand-up's the first thing that's made me feel confident. And so I was like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And also for me, like, it doesn't come from a need for attention. Like, that makes me feel gross. Yeah. Like, I don't want all the attention. I simply want, like, I don't want me as a person to be famous. I want my stand-up to be famous. I want the way people feel when they listen to me or come see me live to be the thing that becomes famous.
Right.
Because life is so hard. It's so hard enough. I want people, when they come see me live and one day I'm a fucking headliner, I want them to forget about their problems in the real world and just be enthralled in this super absurd and weird ass shit they're hearing. And that's what it is to me. It's like escapism.
Yeah. I say, to quote Steve-O, we are a distraction therapist.
Yes, yeah. I really relate to that.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say, I guess if there's any kind of trauma, also there is the whole I was also bullied too. Mm-hmm. I had a rat tail during the only period of time in my life that it wasn't cool. Because it was cool right before, like when I was like a baby.
Yeah, it's cute.
And then it started coming back a couple years ago. But that whole time in the middle was very not cool, and that's when I had one.
You had like a rat tail during puberty?
Actually, right before I started puberty. So like elementary school. So like from because I got it cut off before I went to middle school. Because I had this like talk with my mom. I'm like, hey, I already hate my life. I'm mercilessly bullied. Can I not go to middle school with this? And finally let me cut it off. But then, so I was bullied for that. And then middle school, is when I started chunking up a little bit. So then I was bullied for being fat. Then I kind of hit a plateau of weight gain in high school. So freshman year, then it went to I was bullied for being gay, which is a problem because I'm not gay.
Okay, I was about to say, I didn't think you were.
No, but everybody did, including any woman I tried to flirt or hit on, which is why I didn't get a girlfriend until my senior year. And I had to date like 2 years younger, so I dated a sophomore because she hadn't gotten the memo that gay Destin was gay.
Okay.
Yeah, and they called me gay Destin too. It's like, how many other Destins are there in this school? You were being unnecessarily hurtful.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah. So then senior year, freshman to junior year, I was bullied for being gay. And then senior year, I was bullied for having a girlfriend because I was trying to throw people off the scent that I was gay. So there was no winning. There was my whole public school was shit. So, okay, maybe that also sort of then subconsciously fueled my need to, perform or whatever to just get away from all that. But again, ever since then, I don't care about any of that.
Yeah.
I know who I am now. By this point, people know who I am now too. So I mean, it worked itself out. But the whole teenage years, that will. You will occasionally, have those people that you also feel the need to prove wrong, right? Mm-hmm. I still have my few people that I'm sort of doing this to prove wrong, but again, at the end of the day, I'm doing it because I've always loved stand up. I love performing, and yeah, fuck those 8 people.
Fuck them.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we're around time. We probably ought to start wrapping it up.
Okay.
I haven't been looking at the time, so
me neither. Yeah, I can't even see it. So far
I can't either. I don't have my glasses.
I feel like your grandma, especially with these glasses.
Yeah. I'll say Let's see here. Oh yeah, we're good.
But okay, before we wrap it up,
okay.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Marry, fuck, kill.
Okay.
Epstein's list, Schindler's list, Santa's list. And now these are the people on the list. So we're talking the rich millionaire pedophiles, we're talking Jewish people, and we're talking everyone under the sun because that's Santa's list.
Okay.
Marry, fuck, kill.
All right.
I wrote it on a brassica napkin.
So I would fuck Santa's list.
Fuck everyone?
Because I want to fuck everyone.
That's millions of people of all ages.
Oh, yeah, there's the ages.
All ages.
Is there an above 18 Santa's list?
No. Everyone's on Santa's list,
18,
right?
18 to 118.
I'm sorry. These are the laws of physics.
You're right. I forgot about the kids. Even though one of those lists is all about the fucking kids.
You would be worse than Epstein's list.
I would. You're right. I retract that answer. I would kill Santa's list because I would kill everybody.
And then you wouldn't have to worry about the.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to worry about having sex with children.
Damn, there's so many loopholes in this question.
Yeah, exactly. But then yes, so that means unfortunately I would marry Schindler's List because I'm not anti-Semitic.
Good answer. Safe answer.
Yes, exactly. Going into the entertainment industry, I need you.
We love Jews.
We love Jews here on the Destination podcast. And then, so then I would fuck Epstein's list. That's the people on it, not.
You gotta fuck Stephen Hawking.
Oh, bring it on. Bring it on.
Ew.
I want that dirty talk.
Oh, that would be pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. Speaking of Stephen Hawking, do you think he has ED? How much would that suck if his dick was also limp?
Well, you see, I saw the movie, The Theory of Everything.
Loved it.
And apparently his dick still worked.
Yeah.
Because he was cheating on his wife and stuff, which is insane.
Well, she was cheating on him too, though.
She was?
Yeah, she's the one that fucked the piano teacher. Or the piano teacher.
Did they address that in the movie?
Yeah, I think it was halfway through.
All right. Well, I'm just dumb as fuck and didn't get that.
Oh, because my first thought even is man, how insulting is it that a piano teacher was more of a man than you,
Yeah.
I went to school for piano. I can say that joke.
That's funny. Yeah, well, I mean, Stephen Hawking, from what I know, just based on that movie, so that it could have been bullshit, but I think his dick still worked.
I think it did too. Because I mean,
he couldn't finger anybody.
Right. And even then, like, could he? No, he could do oral. She'd have to
his jaw was like crooked.
The jaw was well, but the tongue inside maybe still could like peek out and.
Oh, I hate thinking about that. I hate thinking about writing Stephen Hawking's face.
It'd be like an actual ride though, because then he could like he can move the chair, so it'd be like the most fucked up like merry-go-round ever. Just like you'd have to go up, down as you're going in circles too.
Yeah, but then he could also like, well, he wasn't typing. His eyes were what made the thing speak.
Oh yeah. So all you would just hear is pubes.
Yeah, or because Dirty Talk with him.
This was in the 70s, so she had to have been rocking full bush.
Probably.
Yeah.
Man, that is some gnarly sex.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Stephen Hawking naked?
I'm hard right now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, that was crazy to see he was on the list. There was a couple of other people on that list too. That was one of those like, oh, say it ain't so.
Who else?
Tom Hanks.
He was on the list.
And it sucks because I have a joke where I'm all about protecting Tom Hanks, and now I'm even like, do we though?
No, I didn't know he was on.
I still say it because the pun it sets up is fucking gold. But
yeah,
anything for the pun, even if
you should keep it.
Yeah, that was because he was one of the first, and that also because right before COVID, right before the world shut down, because I think it was like the 2020 Golden Globes. It was the last one Ricky Gervais hosted, and he absolutely just crushed. Like he did the opposite of Joe Coy. Like he absolutely crushed it. And
the opposite of Joe Coy.
Yeah, Joe Coy bombed really hard this year at the.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and like because there was like a clip that they didn't pan in the laughter, and I mean, yeah, he was eating shit, and then also. He had the nerve to blame writers right after the writers' strike.
But he was doing stand-up, right?
Yeah, he was doing like the monologue bit at the beginning, which is basically stand-up.
Okay.
Where they're like soft core roast jokes, essentially.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like a couple of them, there was one point he was doing like, hey, I just got some of these like, a couple days ago. From the team of writers and everything. So like blame them or something to that effect. And I mean, like, dude, right after a writer's strike, that is not a good look, my man.
Yeah.
Like, no, just own up to it. I mean, it's not exactly his style of comedy. He's, storyteller. He's good at that. But, just doing like little quick quip one-liners about, like Meryl Streep and, Greta Thunberg, stuff like that. It's just not his style. Like it's,
yeah.
But anyway, the one where Gervais, there was one specifically about Epstein, and like it pans to Tom Hanks in the crowd, and the look on his face too is even just like,
shit.
Yeah, shit. He's like, you're gonna find out, and then it really was a bad look. Even more than blaming writers after a writer's strike, the real bad look was the moment they Ghislaine Maxwell started talking about revealing the clientele list. Tom Hanks just moves to Greece.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't like to believe that.
I don't either. I really don't want to either. But again, that moving to Greece right around the time where they were talking about, dropping this client list, it did not look good.
Why does fame and money make people want to fuck kids? I
don't know. It's why I'm glad I'm not famous.
Yeah, or rich. Like if I get rich and famous, I'm gonna be scared.
I would say I only want to get rich and famous enough to fuck those kids as single moms. That's my my making it right there.
Yeah.
That's my call my mom. I'm like, I'm here. I finally did it.
Yeah, if I ever get rich, I'm gonna give all my money to like children's charities and stuff because I'm either gonna fuck them or or help them. So let me do the ladder. Is that the expression?
Yeah. Old enough to breathe, old enough to breed, you know.
Yeah.
So on that note, we really should probably.
Okay.
Wait. Actually, did you have one more?
One last question.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you hear that Ice Spice was on Club Shay Shay talking shit about Kevin Hart?
No.
Okay. Do you know who Ice Spice is?
Yes, rapper.
Female
rapper. Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear that Cat Williams was on Club Shay Shay talking shit about Kevin Hart?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Sweet. That's the question.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, honestly, I want like half of Columbus to go on Club Shay Shay.
It would be so fun.
Yeah.
Should we bleep out Kevin Hart? The name?
No.
I'm sure he's gonna hear it.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, because he's Oh yeah. He's my most recent subscriber. You're right. I forgot about that. And Ice Spice too. She's been in my DMs. She's literally the only one that has been in my DMs recently.
You should respond. She's beautiful. Have you seen her fucking body? I wish I had her body.
I do in my DMs. But I'm holding out for I'm holding out for pumpkin spice.
Holding out for
Ice Spice has an ass like a pumpkin, so that's close enough.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, hey, thank you so much for
making
Drive Out here. It's been a great time. Let everyone know where they can follow you, where to check you out, how to support.
Okay, my Instagram is LeylaIngallz_. And I know that sounds like a fuck ton, but that's me on Instagram, and I always post my show dates and everything on there. And then follow me on YouTube. That's where I'm getting the silly goose vibes on YouTube. I'm doing like 5 minutes of character stand-up twice a month on there, just because I want people to know that I'm also weird. Like I want to be Leyla on stage, but then on YouTube I'm fucking weird.
Yeah.
And so that's just my name, Leyla Ingalls. And then I have a link tree on my Instagram bio with all my upcoming shows. So you can click on that. And if you're in Ohio, find a show near you. A lot of people aren't in Ohio.
Yeah, I'll say that. But they come back. You can never truly escape Ohio. Ohio brings you back somehow.
Yeah. Was that a good?
That was great. Yeah.
It was good.
That was great. Yeah. So everyone, thank you again for tuning in. Again, thank you to my lovely guest, Leyla Ingalls. Again, follow her wherever you can. Find out where she is. Rising star. I'm just happy to be in the same room. So
it was nice chatting with you.
You too.